Industry 5.0. I'm going to be sharing my slide. Is that okay, Prof?
Yes, you should be able to share your slides.
Oh, I think he said, oh, this, you have to enable me to share. I
Oh,
think
really?
so.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Okay. Yes, you should be able to now.
Sorry, I have a very clumsy desktop. Can you all see my slide? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, got it.
You can see it.
Okay, let me start. So today, what we will be learning today is, or what I will be talking about today, it's very important. And that is the next version of fourth industrial revolution. I don't know if you already heard about the Industrial 4.0, and now we are gradually shifting to Industry 4.0.1. Some people already tag this Industry 5.0. But for me, I think it's still an aspect of Industry 4. And that is why I put it 0.1. But people are already working on this. The question you should ask yourself, are you ready? Do you even know that we are moving away from Industry 4.0? So we'll be discussing that today. What I will be talking about very fast is going to be in four parts. I divided it into 4 parts. The first one is about industrial revolutions. Then a little bit introduction about myself. Then the second one is going to be Industry 4.0. Then we move to Industry 4.0.1. Then lastly, I will talk briefly, just briefly, about some of the things I've been doing in my group, in my research group, on this field. Just briefly, I'm not going to boast with the science that are in there. So let's go. My name is Charles. Like you know, I'm a professor at the university in the US, University of Nebraska. I also work as the Engr of engineering for Osiri University. My background was in mechanical engineering. I started from mechanical engineering. And from mechanical engineering, I moved to food engineering. Currently, I had my PhD in food engineering. I teach food engineering, but it all started from mechanical engineering in Nigeria. Then to biosystem engineering in Canada. Then I moved to US, food engineering. I'm everywhere in engineering. Industrial experience. I have about 10 years industrial experience. I've added plus because I still found out that I still collaborate with the industry. In as much that I'm in the academy now, I still kind of talk to my colleague at that side of the spectrum. Research interest. My interest majorly is in visual simulation of biological systems. So when I'm talking about biological system, to me, biological system is human system as well as food system. So that is what I've been doing for the past 15 years, researching in this field. Position. Currently, I am the Dean, the Engr of Engineering at Osiri. Trivia about me. These are 3 statements. These 3 statements, one of them is the truth. Do anybody know which one is the truth statement here? A, B, C. I speak the 3 major languages in Nigeria. I have traveled to Ghana. I do keep fish as a pet. One of them is correct.
Please guess. Please guess, so you can open your mouth.
B.
B. Who said B? Oh, John. John said B. Any other person?
C.
C. Uju. I do keep a fish as a pet. Okay, the answer, June, I'm very sorry, is C. I always keep a fish as a pet. That's the only thing I keep as a pet. I've never traveled to Ghana. I hope to do that very soon. I do not speak the 3 languages. I understand most of them, English, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa, but I'm more fluently in Igbo and in Yoruba. So I think, Uju, that's a good one. That's a good, you should be a scientist. You guess it right? So let's go to why we are here, or what we'll be talking about today. Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution has been defined as major changes that happen in the manufacturing industry as a result of technologies. Over time, these changes has happened. In food industry, like I work in the food industry, these changes always has happened from centuries back. The first Industrial Revolution happened in 1784. That was when it started. And that was when we displaced human as an animal power with steam power and water power. That's the first Industrial Revolution. It happened in all industry, not only in food industry, it happened also in manufacturing industry. The second one took place in 1870. And that was because of the advent of electricity. So the advent of electricity brought about mass production of stuff. That's where you have a lot of, in food industry, we start manufacturing food. Instead of cooking food at home, we take it into the industry and we mass produce that food product. Electricity brought about that revolution. The first one was brought about because of steam power. When we figure out that we can generate power from water, that triggered the first revolution. The second one as a result of the invention of electricity. The third one happened in 1969. And that was because of the introduction of the very small stuff called transistor. Electronics trigger the introduction of computer in the industry. Now, if you are an accountant, you are a lawyer, anything, you have to associate with computer at work. So if you hear, you already know that we are moving away from this third revolution. So if you don't know how to use, if you don't know how to use Microsoft Word, you are still in the third or second revolution. In the third revolution was actually introduction of computer. And that's why we, in the food industry, we start having robotic doing stuff for us. That is the third revolution. In the fourth revolution, which is what we have today, but it is changing already. It is moving away. And that revolution started as a result of very complex communication between equipment, between machines. Like when your computers start talking to each other. Remember, in the third revolution, we introduced computer. In the fourth revolution, we are not talking about computers again. We're talking about communication and control between computers, between machines, between equipment, not about the robotics anymore. In the fourth revolution that started sometime 10 years ago, but we live in it, was the interaction between machines, between robots. I don't know if you heard about the news when Facebook developed a robot and they were talking to each other to the extent that Facebook, they do not understand the language of communication anymore. This happened like 2 years, 3 years ago. In the industry, what I'm talking about is when we are talking with the machine that are processing stuff. Remember, in third revolution, we as a person, we use computer. We operate the computer. We get input for the computer. We say, okay, hey, computer, I want you to predict this, and the computer is going to do it for us. Or I want you to control this robot. Like you can see here, there's a robot here, and the computer is going to do it. It is discouraging that some people think they don't even know we are living the third, we are entering the fourth, and we are living the fourth. Where the robots, you don't need to control them again. You as a person, you don't need to tell the robot, you don't need to tell your refrigerator, you don't need to set the temperature on your refrigerator system at home. It's going to set itself. That is the fourth. We are in this fourth industrial revolution. You are not controlling the machine again. They can actually control each other. And that is what I will be talking about. Then we move into the 4.0.1. Industrial 4.0. It is the current industrial revolution where physical assets, I've explained this, are connected to some cognitive software somewhere. We call this place cloud, where your car, the GPS in your car is connected to some cloud system being operated by Ford. And there can be communication and control between your car and the cloud, the Ford's computer, wherever it is. That is the fourth industrial revolution, communication between machines. Let me try to explain this for you. And it's not only machine, even processes. That's why if you are a doctor here, no matter your career, you're going to lose it. Even professors, we're going to lose it all. But watch out what will happen in Industry 5.0. In Industry 4.0, lawyer, anything you're doing can be done by the machine. And that's why I put it here. Not only the physical equipment, not only the machine will talk to each other, even the process, the manufacturing industry, they will talk. They don't need you. We don't need you, Mr. Doctor or professor, to teach the students. We don't need anybody anymore. The machine can talk. And that is where we are. Now, we have a physical asset. There is an algorithm somewhere. We want to connect the physical asset to the algorithm. What happened, or what we did to this machine, to this robot, was to collect data. We collected data from this equipment. And that data, the machine is then equipped with an internet network, most time a wireless network. We equip the machine with internet, then we can send the data to the cloud. And from the cloud is a computer somewhere. We can send back the data to the algorithm. And based on the data we are getting from the machine, the data might be image, might be video, might be temperature, might be stress, contour data. This algorithm and then control the equipment. There is no will, there is no human being in this network. The only thing is that we build it. So the skills of the future, the players of the future are those, the human being that will be building this, that will be maintaining this, that will be securing this network, that will control this network. Those are the people that will be relevant. And I'm telling you from the bottom up, not because I'm a scientist. So this is how the Industrial Revolution, the fourth Industrial Revolution, have been working. The machine suddenly becomes so smart. So from the data, we can analyze the data coming from the machine, and we can tell the machine, let's say this robot specifically is to pack 32 cases of roasted meat in a carton. But mistakenly, the robot was packing 31. Immediately, the cognitive algorithm we develop is going to tell the machine, oh, you need to pack 32. So suddenly, the robot is becoming smart. But this is just a simple illustration about the fourth industrial revolution. It is more deeper than this. Deeper in the sense that machine is not only smart, they are actually talking to each other by using data. The machines are talking, they are communicating to each other. So in a processing plant, we have different equipment communicating, controlling what each other does by using data. So simply, I can say the fourth industrial revolution is all about data, but it's much more than that. I should take that back. It's not only data. It involves data, knowledge, and action. It's just like you have a refrigerator at home. Before now, in the 90s, when we were born, early 80s, refrigerators are not smart. Your gas cooker are not smart. They do not have that intelligence. But now, the latest refrigerator system can actually tell you when you are out of stock for egg or for milk or for meat, just by taking some image data, then send it to an algorithm that is based somewhere for Ayatamoku, and they're going to send a message to your phone that, oh, you need to go to grocery, you're out of egg. Suddenly it's becoming so smart. There is communication between your refrigerator system and your phone. It's just as if someone knocked my door. There was a day I was far away in Canada, and someone was downstairs in US knocking the door of my house. And I was able to open my door from Canada. What happened there was the person like typing in some numbers at the door, and that get communicated to my phone. But the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is more deeper than that. These are just simple schematic for you to understand. It is more deeper. It is something close to this, whereby we have the machines, the equipment. This is the receiving, talking to the robot. The robot is sending data to the cloud. And based on the data being sent to the cloud, we can analyze the data, then send back information. It involves a complex interaction between machines. So at the receiving, let's say, for example, in the manufacturing, you're manufacturing maybe red meat. So the receiving facility is going to communicate to the processing equipment that the meat just arrived, get ready. So there is an interaction between the processing with the distribution, with the factory. So not only that equipment, we talked with equipment, even the factories, the cities, the buildings, we communicate with each other. They will control each other. Look at this, that's the way it will look like. Or it is even looking like this. There is a city in Canada and they wanted to build this smart street. I don't know if they finally achieved that. Where there is no human being operating anything. They all working together, correcting each other. And that is as a result of this powerhouse algorithm that has been developed. So the algorithm is constantly learning from the data it's getting. And from that data is making a very cognitive, informed decision that should take place in the shop floor in the industry. So this is close to the industry 4.0. Now listen, one thing you will not see here is the presence of personnel, employee. It's all going to be done by machine. But recently, and this machine are built based on some technology skills. We have the 9 skills or foundation of Industry 4.0 that recently was about 5 years ago was listed. But before that, let me just show you how it looks like in a simple prototype industry, Germany. Watch. Can you hear the voice? Can you hear the sound?
No, we can't hear the sound.
Can I hear the sound?
No, we see the video, but not the sound.
Oh, sorry, let me just share so you can hear the sound.
Yeah, if you want to reshare, maybe you click on, I think it's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see it now? Can you see the...
We can see it, but not the sound yet.
As desired.
Yes, yes now. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
A bottling plant for liquids, set up together with Siemens, is used to demonstrate the most important components of the intelligent factory of the future. Each bottle contains an RFID chip storing a precise description of how it has to be processed, which liquid, which lid, and which label. At each station, the bottle communicates directly with the machine, telling it how it has to be processed. At the end, a computer checks whether the bottle has actually been produced as desired.
Yeah, so that's just a little bit of what is happening in the industry. You could see from this video, you cannot see any employee. It's a machine that decide the label, the liquid, through the RFID. The data is generating. So there are no employee. And these industries, these smart plants you saw here,
a bottling plant for
to work because of these nice skills. So I am putting it to you today. You're a lawyer, you are in Nosiri to learn about food processing or to learn about humanity, art, or language. My friend, you need these nice skills. The big data analytics, robotic, IoT, simulation, augmented reality, system integrations, cybersecurity, cloud computing, additive manufacturing. Actually, you need 1 or 2. I don't know. Someone contacted me recently and said wanted to do PhD. I'm like, it's fine. I am getting in some master student that, okay, you want to do PhD. Can you even write C++ or Python? He said, no. I'm like, you need it. Because this machine will not speak Igbo. They will speak what we call the computer language, the coding language. You need the skills to be relevant in this industry. So briefly, I will just let you know what I am doing in my group, what we are doing currently about using some of these skills. But before then, the industry 4.0.1, which is industry 5.0 by some people, we bring back the human factor. That's what they want to do. You need to be prepared. Now, if you look at the video I show you, there are no employees there. But now, what scientists, researchers are doing is to implement an ecosystem whereby the personnel can interact with the robot, with the machine, with the process. You don't want to take the human factor out anymore. Because we've seen our mistake. I worked for General Mills long ago. General Mills is one of the 5 Fortune food processing company in North America, in the world. I worked for them. And I was, just one day, we came to work and we found out that they are replacing some of the packaging equipment with robotic packaging equipment. And what that means is that a lot of employees lost their job just within a day or that. They just lost all their job. We were all threatened in the industry. So people have started realizing this. So we started talking about the industry 5.0. We don't want the machine to talk to each other anymore. We want them, yes, we want that, but we want an higher level whereby we will not displace the human. The human is coming to the show. I know in Africa, maybe we are still in industry 3.0, I don't know, but we will get there. So what we were saying is that it is time that the person started talking to the machine again. And that is what all this industry is all about. So there are technologies coming up that will reintroduce human factor interaction with robots. And those skills I showed you, the technology, are what will be relevant in the future. In our very small research group, we've been working on this, trying to use simulations, understand how to use simulation to make some important decision as well as optimize. Also big data. I'm just going to be brief with this, but you can pick any of these skills and develop on them. You know, someone was talking earlier on in the seminar. She said, you need to, no matter how much you spend building skills, it's no waste. You need to build yourself up. So these skills will be very relevant. No matter the field you are, lawyer, this will be very relevant. What we're doing something with simulation. Simulation is very simple. We use mathematics, very complex differential mathematics to model a process. I'm a food engineer. What I do, I want to use mathematics to model processes. And then we can pull down mathematics because the computer can understand number. The computer does not understand the frying, no. So we represent it in mathematics and put it into computation. And that is what we do in my group. Firstly, we understand the physics of any phenomenon. Physics first, the physical process. Then we turn it into mathematics, then we put it into computer. And when it gets computer, we can optimize the process, we can optimize the product. This is what I've been doing for 15 years now. So one thing we are trying to do was something we call digital twin, also on simulation. Digital twin is you have something physical somewhere and you have the digital twin in the computer in Sierra Leone. So a very good example that has been used very well is a plane. You saw there are a lot of self-piloting plane. The person driving the plane is actually based in America, and the plane is going to somewhere in Africa. Drone, all that. Digital twin, concept of digital twin. We want to apply that to food. So we were able to create the digital twin of tomatoes. So we said, if we can create this digital twin, then we can do a lot of optimization on how to store tomatoes efficiently. I'm not going to go into detail of what we're doing in this field, but what we've been able to achieve was creating a digital twin of tomatoes. And I'm an African, I always want to solve the problem in Nigeria. So Nigeria for me is very fundamental. So what we are doing is understand the value chains of tomato. And based on the value chain, we found that males tomato loss happen in the farm. So if we can create the digital twin of a tomato in the farm, then we can be able to study what are the variables that we improve the storability as well the shelf life of tomatoes. I think I'm running out of time because of that. If you have a question on what we're doing in this area, please talk to me. But we set it up as a computer simulation. I'm gonna just show you. So what we did was develop a digital twin for tomato, and that is what you see here. So this actually is in my computer here in US, and I'm studying something in northern Nigeria. We're doing that currently. And from that, we use kinetic model, physics-based model to actually predict how long you can store the tomato paste in northern Nigeria. So we're working on this. Another area we're working on very fast. So when I'm talking about the digital twin, our intention was to develop an app for the farmer. So the farmer as well can do what I'm doing without knowing the mathematics. We're doing that. Also, what we're doing is the simulation also is about expert system. We are developing an expert system for grain storage. So I'm not going to go into that. If you have more questions, you can send to me on what we're doing in regards to simulation. I'm going to be ending here, but the question I want to leave with you is, are you ready for the next version of Industry 4.0, which is human coming into the equation again? Do you have those 9 skills? If you don't, start working on them. I know in Nosiri, we have a lot of courses on artificial intelligence. Please, you investing in this course is not going to be a waste. In 2025, in 2030, 50, you will find out that those that will be relevant are those that have those skills. Thank you. I can take question if you have question. You can come off mute and ask a question.
Yes, thank you, Professor Charles.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor Charles. A very informative session. My question is just brief. I've read about the industries of the future by Alec Ross. My question is, do you have a book you have written about this topic to further enlighten us? And then number two, I've read a few things about artificial intelligence and quantum computing. Can you please touch more on quantum computing and tell us the difference, or if it's the same thing? Because sometimes I get confused. I don't know the difference between artificial intelligence and quantum computing.
Okay, yeah, your first question, I do not have a book that I know. I'm currently working with other people in Europe. We're coming up with a book, but I have a lot of articles on what I've done in regards to developing app and also simulation. You can go to Google and see some of my articles. Then the second question is about artificial intelligence. Quantum computing, to me, is just higher computing, speed up computing, like increase the speed. You see, I show a slide whereby we have a data. The data we generate is in terabytes. It's big. So this kind of processing require higher processing, higher computation, and that's what we're doing. It's totally different from artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, it's when you're using algorithm through learning to make a particular equipment, machine, process become smarter. So under artificial intelligence, we have machine learning, we have deep learning, different kind of learning that you can develop, you can program this to make a particular task become intelligent.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please. Just come off mute. Like it's informal here. Just come off mute and ask questions.
She went to Chuku from Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, go for it.
Chinwendu Chukwu from Nigeria. I'm actually from a cyber security background.
Good.
Okay, and I can say that you did a very good job explaining some of these terms and their themes. The industry 4.0 or 4.01, I am a bit thinking, I have this confusion for now. I want you to clarify, where would you place Internet of Everything or Internet of Things? When you were saying, you mentioned quantum computers, you mentioned a lot of things that are quite interwoven. And this industry per se, it appears for me as an IT expert that the IT world has leaped forward than the industrial application, where those IT should be, where those internet technologies or where those communication technologies should be applied in the industry. I think the biological world, the medical world, and other facet of the society where you apply this tech with IT to you, and from the research that we have on ground, we've been doing, we are trying to marry these things together. Now, I want to ask the industry 4.0.1, where would you place Internet of Everything? Where would you place Internet of Things?
Okay, so
and a lot of things I should ask about, but at least this one
you can send me an email or look for me on the internet. I have strong visibility. You can send me email for your further question. So about the Internet of Things. Internet of Things is when we start adding, embedding.
I'm listening, sir.
Okay, thank you, Chiku. We embed in internet on machines, on process, on everything. Like I show you a fridge that has internet, you see, or the door at my apartment that has internet. All those things are the Internet of Things. Currently, what 4.0 is trying to achieve, we are not fully there. Like I gave instances in Africa whereby we don't even know about this technology. Using Internet of Things for those equipment to communicate with each other, not only communicating, also controlling each other. So if there is an equipment, sorry, I'm using food processing, that is cutting a fish, cutting it, and there is an equipment that is washing a fish. So, and in between this equipment, there is one other equipment, B, that check if the equipment A thoroughly washed the fish with water. So let's say equipment A did not wash it very well, that will be communicated to equipment B. The equipment B is going to reject that fish. See, you're not doing a good job, equipment A. They were using Internet of Things, A and B. Now C is the one, let's say C is the one packing it. So that fish will not get to see because they've communicated. Now look at this machine communicating. Before Industry 3.0, what we always do between machine A and machine B is to place machine A and machine C, is to place a personnel in between. So if A did not wash it very well, the personnel is going to pick it out. But now we don't even need the employee. The machine talk to each other. They communicate, they control each other. Now, when we are talking about Industry 4.0, 5.0, people say, 4.01, I said, it's now trying to introduce the employee back. Now, we are not going backward. No, the employee is not trying to, is not going to be in between the machine. Rather, the employee of the future is those like you, Chuku, that understand cybersecurity, so you can help me secure these three machines. So a terrorist somewhere will not get my recipe, my fish making recipe. Do you get that? So those
I do.
Those are the relevant skills. And currently in UNO, where I teach, we have this grand challenge whereby they want science and engineering to be known by all men. Even if you have high skill, you should have knowledge, you should be literate in science. Even you have humanity, you should have a little bit science skills. So that's what we're talking about. Like empowering the personnel of the future, the employee of the future, bringing them back into the equation. So not just, so we will have people that will be coming back to operate, to guide, and interact with machine. People, this is not clear yet, but there's going to be a lot of relationship between human and machine. Elon Musk is trying to implant something in people's brain, right? That can help you. You don't need to know anything. You just put that thing in your brain. It's a bionic. You put it in your brain, and all, maybe you take the memory stick, you put it in a computer, learn about geography. You don't know anything about geography. You learn about the memory stick, learn about it, download it in your brain. That's where we are going now. Whereby you don't need, in future, you won't have to learn anything. It's just going to come to your memory. Naturally, you should watch the documentary. That's where we're going. Machine and human being working together. We will become superhuman very soon. Very soon. Yeah. But there should be control. That's why we need experts like you. We need experts like you. We need people that understand sociology to learn about this technology, develop philosophy, develop sociology. So we won't be out of control, whereby we become something else with the machine. Still, there should be place for law and all that. But in the future, it's gonna be something else. What you will be able to do will be something else. You can do much more than you even know.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead. Chuku.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Chuku, sorry, you can reach me after. Someone else can ask, just to be a little bit democratic. Go ahead, would you?
Okay. Now, you were saying something about people in the humanities, social, and all can actually have access to this knowledge. Mm-hmm. Now, from most of the things you said the simulation that is related is actually having this complex differential mathematics, science related, and all. How do you think we can relate with these two? You know, like the humanities that is not used to all these science-related techniques. How do you think we can cope with it?
Okay.
Or a way like now, me, if I'm an urban planner, is there a way I can connect urban planning to this? Or I just have to learn entirely on its own?
Yeah, like I said, the complex math, the complex differential, you might not need to know that. If you want to, you can learn that as well. But like a lawyer, you just need to understand the interplay between this machine and human, or machine to machine. If you understand, or someone in ethics, so we will not go overboard, because an ethic person understands sociology and human interaction and all that. Art person, humanity person, they have this understanding that scientists does not have. A very good example was when we were trying to work with some people to solve the Boko Haram problem. Sorry, not Boko Haram, the banditry, the harassment problem in Nigeria. And I know the Prof was also involved when we were talking about that. And there is someone, we were scientists, we were like, oh, can we do some GPS simulation whereby we can tell the harassment that, oh, this route is what you should take, and also tell the farmer that this, like we're thinking a lot with some other guys. And there was this sociology guy, humanity guy that came to me and said, Charles, this thing is more complex than you think. There's a lot of human interaction happening down there in Nigeria between the farmers, even the elders of the land and the elders, man. You need to understand that interaction before you could come with a solution. So that person that person happened to be an humanity person. Is going to be a strong player in the future, because it will let us understand that interaction between them. Now to your question about urban planning, seriously, on top of my head, I don't know how you come in, but you will definitely come in. You just need to understand the 9 pillars, and then something, I don't know, maybe in smart city. What are you talking about? I just remember something. Smart city in Canada, it's coming up. You can read about that and then see how you come up to develop smart city. It's just like urban planner. In industry 3.0, you use, as an urban planner person, you use computer, right? To do what? So definitely you will find out that in industry 4.0.1, urban planner are also going to be a player there. Sorry if I do not answer your question very well, but I just want to try. Any other question? Go for it, Olajide. Like, it's very informal. Oh, you're still raising up?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, Nokia.
Hello?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
Nokia, please. Nokia. 0.2. I know that's not your name, but that's what you put up. Nokia 4.2.
That's me, Carlo Chris.
Okay,
I have
Carlo.
a question. I want to know, are there any measure for sustainability of this industrial revolution in terms of coming up with the clouds to the...
Yeah, Carlo. I think I got your question.
Are there any measure
for sustainability? Carlo, sustainability is a big thing now in Industry 4.0.1. How do we put some element of sustainability into this tech development? So it's a big thing. It's happening. A lot of people are talking about sustainable. Okay, if all these robots, they talk to each other, they generate a lot of waste. How do we manage that waste? How do we relate it to environment? A lot of things will be happening in regards to that in Industry 5.0. There are a lot of research studies going on in this area. Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I like
Yes,
it.
can you hear me?
Clearly.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
It's been said that in the next 10 years, the industries, this fourth revolution or fifth revolution rather, is going to displace so many industry, and there's going to be 25% loss of jobs. And in the next 10 years, that's 20 years, there's going to be another 25% loss of jobs. So my question is, what is the future of humanity? I mean, you mentioned about the neural link by Elon Musk putting in chip into the brain. You don't have to go to school anymore.
Yes.
So it's a whole new world coming, unfolding. So are we just going to be waking up, eating, and not doing anything? What's the future of humanity?
We will. I like I said, we will. Things will still be happening. We'll still be working. Remember, even psychologists, like if I want to go put on the neural link in my head, I need some psychology counselor to counsel me, right? Definitely. But the counselor needs to understand the neural link, how it works, before he or she can, or they can counsel me. So work will still continue. But I'm telling you the truth. Those work, I don't know what you're doing currently. You need to align your work to this technology. You need to learn about them. Don't just say, see, in Nigeria today, if you cannot, I know for most of these companies, if you cannot use Word or Excel, you cannot work for that company. It will get to a point, if you don't understand this neural link, if you don't understand artificial intelligence, if you cannot write just one line of code of C++. You know, I was listening to the other lady said she learned HTML, not robustly, but she learned it. You just need those basic skills. No matter what you're doing, if you are studying linguistics at Nsukka, you need the skills. You need to know about them. So what will matter in the future is not really the knowledge, but the ideas. And that's what is happening now. Idea rule the world. Not how much you've acquired, the theories you've acquired, the physics. Look at what we are doing in my group. We were trying to put complex differential in the phone of a farmer in Kaduna. The farmer has not seen differential or partial differential equation, but we're going to do that.
Okay.
So things that will matter is not how you memorize the four-figure table or the atomic table or the periodic numbers. This will not matter in the future. It's idea, because if you go and learn, maybe in UI, you go learn four-figure table and all that, put it in your head, I can get that just by tapping my finger on the internet. In the future with neural link, I can get that implant on my head. I don't need to go learn it anywhere. So, but you need to understand how these things work. That's what will matter. I think, I don't know, are we out of time? But if you have a question, if you want to connect with me, please, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter too. And I go by the name Charles Chioma. My name is not actually Charles, but that's a story for my name is Chioma Nwaizu. So I go with Charles Chioma Nwaizu. Yeah, we can talk, we can discuss or connect on anything, any topic. I'm open, I discuss anything. Okay, Prof, I think that should be it. I'm handing it over to you, Professor Carlo.
Oh, no, well, I think I'm going to kick it back to you. Is whenever you want to end, if you feel like everyone is happy,
yeah,
and the workshop, then we can.
Yeah, I just hope, yeah, that's my LinkedIn, Charles Chioma Nwaizu. And I think Prof just posted it on the comment section. I'm also on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, also as Charles Chioma Nwaizu. I'm on Facebook as Charles Chioma Nwaizu. We can discuss anything, we can talk about anything. I'm a scientist, but I discuss anything. I discuss behavior struggle. Recently, I'm reading a book about macromolecules, learning chemistry again. So I'm just a learner. And also recently, I'm reading about parenting. Prof, can you imagine that? I had a kid, and suddenly I found myself reading about, theta, when they growing teeth, you put, all those psychology stuff. I started reading about it. So we can discuss on it. I want to learn from you guys as well, and if you talk about food and engineering, then I will open up more.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Charles Nwaizu. This was a very electrifying seminar, information-packed, very inspirational, and you've sort of helped us think about how to align our future careers. Thank you so much for that. I hope everyone on the session enjoyed it, and you can find a way to use it. He's invited you to ask more questions outside of this platform. Do so. For those of you who are on the food track, Dr. Charles Nwaizu is going to be teaching a course October, November. It's a course on food product development, I believe, is the course, right? That'll be your third technical course. And I'll be teaching entrepreneurship as well. So great. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and keep track of all your courses. Remember, your courses are in two parts. You have some stuff online on the Learn Dash module, so you log in and watch those videos, do your assignment, and then every week, depending on the instructor, you have meetings. So keep track of all those and keep learning from your instructors. And with that, I say thank you and enjoy the rest of the week.
I have the last word.
Yes, please, go ahead, sir.
The last statement is that think about those 9 technology and how you can get in and be a player in like within these 9 pillars of Industry 4.0. Yeah. Start thinking about that, please.
Thank you so much. We may have to invite you to maybe at the end of the 8-week program, invite you to come again and refresh our minds as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if someone didn't find him, if you don't find him on LinkedIn, I'll go ahead and post it in the chat room. So you could, in the, not chat room, in the WhatsApp group, I'll go ahead and post that now. So you can have his direct LinkedIn link. Okay, all right, Andrew. All right, take care now, everyone. You'll have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.